What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, in light of a lot of the pushback and a lot of the negative sentiment we've seen regarding the upcoming promo cards, whether it is the voucher promo card or the Hall of Legends or League of Legends, whatever it's called, I think it's Hall of Legends, that'll be coming up with the 10 different promo cards. A lot of the negative sentiment that I'll hear, right, is, oh, like you're just kind of like keeping out lower players. Like it's not accessible to everybody. And the thing is, sure, yeah, if you're only going to look at it through that lens, then yes, not every card is going to be for every person. And more specifically, a card that is considered a promotional card rather than something that is part of a core set or a reward card is definitely not going to be available to everybody, all right? But there's a deeper thing that I want to get at here, and I think it's getting lost in the mix of this, right? Because I think a lot of folks are coming in saying, well, I can't be competitive if I don't have every single card in the game. And sure, the wider your collection is, right? The more complete your collection is, the more options you have. But I would say at this point in the game's development, right, now that we have hit the 6th expansion set with, is that what it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, fifth expansion set with Rebellion, right? And we've just started getting Rebellion reward cards. We're going to get some promo cards, potentially a mini set. At this point in time, there are no game-breaking cards. Like I actually challenge you. The point of this video is to challenge folks in the challenge folks in the audience here, just to see like what is game-breaking at this point. Like what is a card that you absolutely need, or it's going to dominate in any and all situations, right? Sure, we can still go back to some of the untamed summoners, right? Yes, Kitty is awesome. Jotun's pretty good. Llama's all right, but I've beaten them a lot, right? And even when I play with them, I get beaten quite a bit. So in that sense, it's not like there's anything here that is, just absolutely dominating and that you absolutely need. I'm even filtering this out or sorting this out by, most expensive. And you can see here, like the most expensive cards in the game, Prince Julian, Archmage Arya, Shinlo. I mean, I never come across these cards. Granted, like the print rate is probably so low, it's probably people only at the top of the leaderboards that have them, but I can't imagine that these cards are like super dominating. I don't see them. When I go and look at the battles of the top players, I don't see these cards, running through the entire player base. That's just not happening, right? The biggest argument I could probably make is still, Byzantine Kitty, but even then, I've beaten Kitty many times. I've played with Kitty, especially in maybe ghost card tournaments or things like that, and gotten beaten myself. So there's no like scenario in which a card just dominates everything, right? And I think the team has actually done a great job of balancing things out over time. And probably, at this point, it's not even the fact of, and again, I'm going to give the team credit for balancing, but also it's just the diversity of cards. If you go back 3 years, right, roughly 3 years from now, 3 years before, we only had Alpha, Beta, and Untamed, right? And maybe some of the Chaos Legion reward cards during that time frame. It wasn't until Chaos Legion launched that we get a bunch of other cards, and all of a sudden we realized, like, oh, Chaos Legion is actually a pretty gigantic set. And that opened up a lot. All of a sudden, playing with Kelly, I was beating Jotun, I was beating Kitty, right? And we only added more cool cards, whether it was the legendary summoners for Chaos Legion, or the cool like legendary cards that came in with Rift Watchers, or even just the meta reward Soulbound cards that came in for Chaos Legion later on. Right. So ultimately, I think the game has grown to a point now where, yeah, you're not going to have every card. I mean, there's going to be very few people in the world that are going to be able to collect every single card. But the truth is that you don't need every card. I mean, if you want to dominate and you think that there's a card that's absolutely going to kill it for you, then go out and get that card. Don't focus on the rest. Right. But I would say that most of the cards are serviceable, right? And this is part of the reason why I think Rebellion has been so underwhelming in terms of its sales, right? And even speaking more personally for me, right? I haven't seen the need. I'm still competitive with a lot of the older cards. Granted, I'm playing in Wild, right? So if I were to play in Modern, I'd probably get my butt kicked pretty badly, and I have. So, when the meta is closed down a little bit more, then sure, there's going to be cards that absolutely dominate, and you will need those cards in order to play and participate. But my expectation is that modern format is going to be for the premier folks that want to compete at the highest levels, that want to earn the highest rewards, and are willing to put in the money, right, to purchase the sets as they go through each core set, right, and they rotate everything out. I think the rest of the folks are probably going to be happy just playing in Wild. I mean, I know that I am, right? And at this point, we'll have to wait and see how things shake out for whatever the next core set that comes through. But again, the main takeaway from this, right, and I know this is not going to solve everybody's problem, but I do want to focus on it because I think it's a valid point in terms of a counter argument, is that there's no card that's coming out or there's no card that's out there that is absolutely game-breaking and that you absolutely need. And I think from the cards that we've seen coming out for the promotional sale, right, whether it's for the voucher card or the two Hall of Legends promos, right, and I mean, we don't know what the other 8 cards are going to look like, but I would assume they'd be something similar to what the team has put out. Nothing has been game-breaking, right? Nothing has been like, oh, I absolutely need that. If anything, people are looking at the Rebellion Summoners and being like, oh, well, they're even with the tactics and dual element, they're maybe not that powerful, right? Like, and that just goes back to the balancing that the team has done, right? There's nothing like the power creep isn't going as high as we thought it would be. I mean, there's definitely some cards out there. I'm looking at you, Olivia of the Brook, right? Because that card I think is actually broken, right? But that's something that everybody has access to and can go and win in a what's that called? If you get Glint, right, just for playing the game. But we'll have to see how that card evolves over time. I played it in my first battle recently and it was outrageous. I mean, I lost, oddly enough, but it's just funny to see it kind of going through and picking up abilities literally every turn. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, I'm curious to know if there's any card that you think is absolutely necessary. And here's the thing. If the card is older, that kind of solidifies the argument that, scarcity still matters, right? And I know that's a completely different argument, but it's like if Kitty's the one that people need or that people want, I mean, yeah, go out and get Kitty, right? If you're willing to do that, and you can see Kitty, I guess has not held its value if you compare it to the top of the bull run, but if you compare it to where it was before the bull run, it's doing quite well. Right. So, again, just trying to share this perspective with you on where everything is at on these promo cards and how all this stuff plays out. If you don't want the cards, you don't need them. Right. That's the main point I'm trying to get at here. Right. At the end of the day, if you want to get the cards, go out and get that. And here's the thing. Don't stop others from doing it. Like, the team is going to go out and put stuff out there. And I was going to say this for a separate video. Maybe I'll still talk about it at some point. But it's just like, this is a game. This is a business at the end of the day, right? This is a card game, and the team wants to put out more and more products, more and more cards for people to collect that'll add in and spice up the meta. That doesn't mean that we need to get into it. Like, I'm totally content playing with the cards that I have and slowly leveling up the reward cards and collecting here and there and leveling up my deck based on whatever rewards that I can get. But outside of that, like, I'm still enjoying the game for what it is, right? Yes, would I love to have every card? Absolutely. But I came to terms with that a long time ago that I would not be able to get every card. And I'm totally happy with that. But what gets me excited, and the reason, right, people always call me out in the comments here like, oh, he's like super pumped about these promo cards, but he's not going to get them. It's because I don't need to get them in order for them to benefit the game economy. And that's ultimately what I'm most excited for, right? I think that I can still be competitive with the deck that I have. I win 4 to 5 SPS per win, right? And even without these cards, if these cards lead to SPS going up in value, because there are some people out there that are collectors, or they have the money, or they don't care about it. They're not looking at Splinterlands as an investment. They're looking at it as a game and wanting to collect everything that this game puts out, and they have the capital to do so. Why are you stopping them when it burns DEC, right? Or locks DEC up in the DAO? So I'll get off my high horse here. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.